morning.
Beautiful British bank holiday weekend. Thank you.
Welcome back to the channel.
Hello.
We're at Crick Boat Show 2025. This time last year we came just to nosy at a few boats, and now we've got our own boat.
We've got our own boat, and we're spending even more money buying things for the boat.
We haven't bought anything yet apart from coffee.
Well, yeah, but we're going around. We've been looking at canopies and front canopies, back canopies, new fenders. Well,
Yeah.
Flooring. We need to go and look at flooring.
Flooring,
haven't done that yet.
coats, hats.
Yeah.
Anyway, we are going to now go and have a nosy around some boats. Best bit of the show.
Yes. Educate us, Jason.
Yeah, it's our new piling boat. Also, we can bring on a small excavator.
Yeah.
2 aluminium checker plates up front. They lift up, they're ramps. You can drive an excavator directly straight onto it. Strap the excavator down. With these 4 legs at different points, those 4 legs they drive down into bed. Lifts all of this up, and you can do your bit of spot dredging from it.
So how long does it take? Might be how long's a bit of string, but imagine the length of this pontoon. How long would that take to do that kind of with some Arnco wise?
Depends what your size of pile is. 50, 100 metres a day, really. Depends on
Wow, that's good,
depends
isn't
what
it?
you're driving into.
Well, what the
Depends
conditions
the
like?
conditions, all that type of stuff. So,
How many people does it take normally to? How many people work on it to do that?
on this,
Yeah.
this would be effectively, you'd have a tug hooked up to it.
Yeah.
So you'd have a tug driver, maybe they drive it to wherever you needed it. And you only need one other person really to be operating this.
Okay.
Control remote control as well, so one person could operate this easily.
That's brilliant, isn't it? Oh, that's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great bit of kit. We'll know all about it then when we see that next time.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Would you like to know anything about it?
Yeah, I know. Hiya. Hello there, how are you? Yeah, mind the gap. But if you go down there, it's a long drop. Sorry, you've been.
I'm in. Oh wow.
If you would like to go down, yeah, great. Thank you very much. If you wanted to just leave your bag at the top here, let me. I see what you mean about being a long drop. You get used to it. You get used to it. Put that there for me.
Wow, this is so cool.
Go in and take a seat.
Oh, this smells like a proper boat.
It does.
It's probably not ideal, but because it's recently been painted and it was very controversial. What we tried to do is to restore it in the way that it would have been when the story of the women that worked the boats during the war.
Right.
So they would come in with their own bits of prettiness, bits of brass, bits of plate, bits of china, and ribbon and that. But it's basically plain. But it's functional, and it's actually built, I mean, as it is now, would have been exactly the same as they would have had it. So all I was going to say was everything in here has got a purpose. It's a very narrow, small space.
Yeah.
A lot of people say, oh, a family of 8 lived in here, didn't they? No.
No.
But it was like, because every accommodation, like a house, has to be registered with the local authority. This was registered in Birmingham initially, and then we've got records of it being checked in Northampton for 2 adults, mum and dad, and 3 children.
Okay.
But most of the time the boating families operated with the butty boat, which was another 72-foot long boat which carried cargo and also had another cabin.
Yeah.
So if there were multiple children, they probably had, depending on their ages. But there's all sorts of stories going around. But that basically, it was registered for 2 adults and 3 children, or 3 adults. And I'm leave you to imagine. There's a sort of side bed there, which isn't very long. The drop-down bed there. Now, if I just do the sort of tour around, a ticket drawer, which is you carry cargo. You have to have paperwork to go with it, even back in the days of the early coal carrying or cargo carrying, not necessarily only coal. Ticket drawer in there. Now we use it for other things. You've got your dipper or your wash bowl, not the dipper. It's got a cobweb in it. We'll get rid of it. sorry. But this is used for everything: for washing up, for washing yourself. unless you want to jump in. But your only source of heat for cooking and for making cups of tea and the like, your stove, solid fuel stove, coal box under there, where you keep a small amount of coal. If you had a full load of coal, you were quids in because you could pinch a bit.
Right.
The boats are gauged rather than weighed, so you know, a few lumps of coal each time won't be missed. But if you took a bag or 6, or But anyway, but generally solid fuel, some wood. But then every part of this boat has got purpose. So you've got the drop-down table there. If you care just to turn the butterfly, don't drop it on you, because it just come right down.
That's all right.
That is the table.
Yeah.
And if you obviously people would sit here, sit there, or that little sliding board could come across.
Oh wow, that's so clever.
Yeah, it's multi-purpose. You know, I appreciate your legs are in the way there at the moment, but don't worry. But you can see the principle.
Yeah.
So that one below that is a drawer which it's got nicknamed the crumb drawer, simply because probably some crumbs would fall in it. It's probably where you keep. Well, we put some cutlery in there.
It's like every kitchen's got that kind of junk drawer type thing.
That is the only drawer you've got, so you can't about it. And below we've got it's storage, which we've just used for our running gear, lock keys, and the like. The next set of drawers, we've got storage at the top. We've got the next one down is the double bed. So if you care to do, but that one is quite heavy and it won't come right down without hitting your knees. So please don't do that.
So you could go.
But it comes. So you've got 6'6" long bed. You would have a mattress roll of some sort, you know, old Sorbo or whatever was available, hair mattress or something like that. So that's your bed that way. Drawers, big drawers below for everything, for your bedding, for your own clothes. And bearing in mind, you know, you're going to get wet every other day or every day. Storage under where you're sat. And I think the only other sort of things here is you've got a small cupboard up here, which is been recommissioned as we've got electric start and that. But it was called the chapel cupboard, probably because of the curved top. Whether they actually put the Bible in or not, I don't know. But then of course it's a working boat, a motorboat, so you've got a gear lever, forward, a long way forward, a long way back, forward and reverse, back, neutral in the middle, and you've got a throttle. Which is all you control along with the tiller, and 72 foot in front of you.
Brilliant.
You've got a bit of a challenge, but it's good fun.
So, Sculptor as a boat has been around Northamptonshire for a long time.
For 1986, she came into this. She was preserved in '86, and as Stoke Broome was the only and the first canal museum, it came to Stoke Broome. And so it's been. I've got a photograph of it which I took in '89 when she was there, covered in snow, and I still use that in talks and that because it was but she's always been there. She goes out on excursions for fundraising.
Because I remember from a kid. That's what I'm very bad at remembering names, but I've always remembered Sculptor.
That's right. It's a bit of a unique name, but it's part because the boat is part of the Star class of boats, the style they were built. There's 3 sister ships they're still around, Scorpio and Sagata, which are all constellations. And it's part of its history, and she's unique because she's got a wooden base rather than steel. And she still maintain that. Most boats get that converted back to steel. When they were built, iron was expensive. Wood was everywhere. Free. But this one's got that uniqueness still about it.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you so much.
So we've got engine in there with 1960 Lister 2HA, which is the air-cooled one. So apart from a lot of canal boats are water-cooled, this one is air-cooled. The air intake and the extract there, and it's got a great big fan with a fan on it in layman's terms.
That makes sense.
Anyway, so Rob asked me to talk to you about the floor, didn't he? So you're standing on the false cargo floor, which is, we call them shuts, and they're panels, and they just drop in, and they're sacrificial. You can see we're still
replacing
them. I know we cheat using posi drive screws, but it's a lot. But another few years we'll have to replace them again. So you've got about a 3-inch depth of African hardwood there, and underneath is the water. And bit further up is elm, still elm.
Oh, okay.
But you can't get the elm anymore. So. And then some of it's sealed with pitch. You get these gunnels. These are relatively new, probably 5 years old or so, and they're sealed, bolted in with pitch. So they're trying to use the original techniques.
Yeah.
Because it's a museum piece.
Yeah.
You know, and it's in the historic fleet, and it should be kept as it was, which is what they've tried to do. This will hold about 23 tons in here, and then you'd have a butty behind.
And what did it used to carry? Do you know? Anything and everything, or was it in a certain?
Pretty much anything. We know of, there are not many records, but we've got records of it carrying grain from London to Wellingborough. But they were generally carrying steel, aluminium, lime juice from Rose's factory in London. Wow. Somebody said that they carried Guinness at one point.
And was it literally like, you may not know the answer to this question, if I had this boat or ran this boat, I'd literally go anywhere, and it was like freelance, for want of a better word?
No, it belonged to the Grand Union Canal Company.
So they dictated what you took, what your cargo was made to be?
Yeah, so it was built to fit this canal and down to London and Birmingham. Yeah. Exactly. It's the biggest you can get in locks.
Right.
So it was built just for that. And it did go to the Shropshire Union as a maintenance boat for quite a while after it retired from the general cargo carrier. But it was anything I could get hold of, really.
I suppose it's like your modern day lorry driver. Your boss tells you where to go, what to get, and where you're heading.
Precisely, exactly like that. And if you've been in the cabin,
it's brilliant.
So you'll see these change boats are not decorated in the traditional way, because it's when someone's family boat was being repaired, they'd get this for the week or the fortnight. Yeah. So they might bring some nice decorations with them, a few. Yeah. And they'd just use the boat to deliver their cargo, probably pick another cargo up and bring it back. We're going down to London docks, and some of the big import ships would be unloaded straight into this. Huge planks of wood, coal, whatever was coming in as imports. And then things that London needed from Birmingham went the other way. So they generally were pretty well loaded. And they did load them. I mean, this...
I'd imagine you're quite low in the water.
What I say, I don't know if this is true, you probably heard this. If a sparrow stood on the gun, it could drink the canal.
Wow.
I've seen pictures of not much. Not much
free. Don't get too much of a bow wave. Definitely plastic.
Plastic boat. So boat completely made out of plastic. I wouldn't trust it. Would you trust it?
It's like a Tupperware boat, isn't it?
Would you miss painting it?
I miss painting it? Yeah, I like painting. I like job painting experience.
Standard cratch.
Yeah.
And then this is a perfect, like I said, this is a
basically
semi-trad canopy.
Yeah, perfect.
If you look at that, it's just the other way around, but that we literally made it to emulate one on the table.
Cool.
So that's the what we call the roof height cratch.
Yeah.
But then you can go for a high top cratch, which makes the frame another 250 mil higher.
Right.
And then you can taper the front in and out to be suited to your design. So it's like all like one of these DJI camera things. And then when you scan the boat, it goes into the computer. Me and Jack will handcraft the 3D rendering and then send it to you. So you can see exactly what you're getting before it's made. So
that little bit more.
I'd love to look at clothing. No, the answer is no. I mean, it's long enough, not like it.
Look in the mirror. It's horrible. You look like you should be in a fucking oasis. Put the hood up. No.
I like it.
Okay.
Get a new shirt.
Hold it up. Like. Not yet.
Not yet.
New coat.
New coat. Hurrah.
Ale and Cider Festival is taking place. It's in the Crick Tavern Marquee. Generously sponsored by Lisan, this year you can enjoy the choice of just under 50 cask ales, as well as ciders, perries and gins.
So much info.
For them, the semi-trad was more expensive than the front canopy, but for them, the front canopy is more expensive than the... Or was that just for the cover? Oh, I can't remember. And then where's the tightening one gone?
That was that one.
Oh yeah, you're right. That was 1929. What was the cheapest one for the front canopy? This is the place to be. This is worth the entrance fee in itself,
and
isn't
the
it?
label's up the right way on that one.
Yeah.
I made a load of them, they're all the labels.
And he's put the label on the right way. Jeff, appreciate that. Which is gracias.
Right, Crick Boat Show done. You had a good day?
Tick. Yeah, it has been a good day, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We didn't spend too much money. Bought a coat, some diesel bug stuff,
And a coffee.
and a coffee, and we found out loads of information about canopies,
Yes.
because that's one of our next projects.
Yeah, met some lovely subscribers, so hi
Yeah, so
to
thank you
everyone.
very much. Thank you for the chili jam. You
Yeah.
know who you are.
Met lots of other YouTubers, so hi to the gang.
Yeah.
And
It's just great. I mean, we got tickets for all day. We could stay all day and night, but we're not like that. We like walk around, done that, bish bash bosh and gone.
yeah,
So-
we had a bit of a chill out in the sun, but it's got dead windy now.
Yeah, and today, at the time of recording, is Saturday at the Crick Boat Show, and today is also a very, very important rugby game, so we're going home to watch that now as well.
Yeah. Right, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, tell your friends,
Yeah.
and we'll see you on the next one.
Take care now. Bye bye.